and my sincere thanks to Dr. Anil Agrawal and Dr. Deven Gupta, who has invited me to speak on this subject. Till this point of the time, you are studying or you are listening to how the brain death is. How the brain death is diagnosed, how the organ is preserved, what is the history, and what are the tests usually performed. I am coming to the legal aspect and why we are discussing this. Reason being that is brain death is considered equivalent to death of the individual. And now the brain stem death is accepted as death of the brain. So if brain stem is dead, so that individual is dead.
Yeah.
आगे So because if individual's brain is considered to be the death of the individual and brain stem is considered the death of the brain. So if brain stem is dead, it means that individual is dead. So this is why we are concerned, we are testifying this death centuries and all this. But the definition came in 2014, I think this is the best definition for the death has come. That is permanent loss of capacity for consciousness and all brain stem functions that cannot resume spontaneously and will not be restored through interventions. So if there is some injury to the brain which is not going to recover either spontaneously or by therapeutic intervention, so those patients are supposed to be brain dead. And if they are brain dead, by legal definition, they are dead. So, what the Indian context is important, why we are discussing, because we have the three definitions and three are different. That is one registration of the Birth and Death Act 1969 versus, and another is the Indian Penal Code, which is long back published, that is 1862 and is still in the practice. And now the Transplantation of Human Act, that is 1994, which was earlier modified by in 2011 and subsequently 2014. So I'm coming one by one what the legal aspect is. But this registration of birth and death, and which is still practiced now, that is defined death as a permanent disappearance of all evidence of life at any time after live birth has taken place. Means that is evidence of life. So what is the evidence? Because we can assume that every cell and every tissue is alive. So if brain is dead, certain tissues are still alive. So how the holistic death can be defined? So a person whose brain stem is dead and whose breathing is supported by the ventilator and heart is beating would be considered to be alive under the Registration of Birth and Death Act. And not all evidence of life has lost. So, for this definition, that is cardiopulmonary arrest, is the definition of the death. And if still in the death certificate, we are writing. We are never writing that because if you are writing it, that has the legal implications that these patients will not be getting the claims. So, Section 46, that is the Indian Penal Code, what says, and it is published in 1862. This is that denotes death of human being unless the contrary appears from the context. So that is again the brain death has not been defined in the Indian Penal Code as well. So we are discussing here the organ retrieval and other things, and at the same time still we are confused what is death. So subsequently the Organ Transplantation of Human Act published in 1994, and what they say that brain stem death is the state at which all function of the brain stem have permanently or irreversibly ceased and is so certified under section of that act. So what they are saying, if brain stem is dead and if that is certified under this section, they are dead. But unfortunately, this has not come under the birth and death registration certificate. So I know that what are the early from where we have taken these definitions, that is uniform, though in 1981, when there was a scan came into the practice, that is one 18 years girls who was little bit thicker, purchased the undergarments, she was not fitting into that. So what she did, that she started fasting and taking that that is diazepam that time to lose the weight, and she took the gym, and she has been found unconscious. CPR was done, and then her father and others said that She was put on the ventilator. She was not apneic. The father and hospital administration said this is not alive, so ventilators should be switched off. But the attorney of that state claimed that if you remove the ventilator from this patient, we will sue parents as well as hospital for homicide. So that case went to the Supreme Court and other cases. So finally, the President Commission was constituted, and the death from the America that has been taken before the Oxford criteria. So in America, that is, they published the Oxford criteria in 1969, but initially it was examined by the President Commission, and this came into the practice. So an individual who has sustained either irreversible cessation of circulatory and respiratory function or irreversible cessation of all function of the entire brain, including the brain stem, is dead. So what they are saying in US, the definition of brain death is entire brain, including the brain stem. Whereas we are talking about the brain stem. If brain stem is dead, that is brain is dead, and if brain is dead, we are talking about the patient is dead. So what the Indian law says, that a deceased person means a person in whom permanent disappearance of all evidence of life occurs by reasons of brain stem death in a cardiopulmonary sense at any time after live birth has taken place. So that is very important, that is live birth has. Brain death is not mentioned in the death certificate, as there is no provision for it, and death is always mentioned as cardiopulmonary death, which is universally accepted for the cremation, burial, and the insurance claim. So still we are certifying the brain death, but still what we are writing in the certificate, that is cardiopulmonary arrest. That is, Dr. Devendra Gupta has already taken this part, that is, who can certify the brain death? So there is a brain death committee, and there are 4 members. One is the hospital administrator as his duty, one a specialist, and another is a neurologist or neurosurgeon, and under whom the patient care is. This has been further modified, that in 2011 and 2014, they have included at the place of the specialist that it added physician, anesthetist, and intensivist. So that is anyone that is either the specialist or anesthetist or physician or anyone other person who is expertise available, they can certify. So that is the core of the 4 members committee has to certify the brain death. So Transplantation of the Human Organ Act 94 says that it is a statutory sanction of the brain death concept, and it regulates the removal, storage, and transplantation of the human organ for the therapeutic purposes, prevents commercial dealing of the human organs. And to certify that, there is an irreversible thing you have to certify. So how to certify that whatever changes happened in the brain, that is irreversible? And we took a certain criteria to certify that if within 6 hours of something in adult patients. We have taken the arbitrary criteria for certifying that within 6 hours, if the changes are the same, the patient may be declared brain dead. But who has given this 6 hours? So to determine, in this condition, we have to determine the cause of the coma, exclude the mimicry, that is interlock syndrome, Guillain-Barré syndrome, vegetative state, and so many things, and observe the patient for a period or time to exclude the possibility of the recovery. So we don't know that his brain, how much time is going on. Recently there is one study came from the France. They had gone to the slaughterhouse and they had taken the head of the pig, and after 4 hours they found that there is a cerebral activity in the pig is stopped. So we don't know at this point of the time at what time point the cerebral function is returning. So interval, what the law says, that interval between the 2 evaluation for the confirmation, it depends upon the age. That is term to 2 months old. That is 48 hours required for the 2 examinations. But if they premature baby, we are nowhere. We can't declare their death, because there is nothing in the law. If 2 months to 1 year, that is 24 hours, and if more than 18, that is optional hour is the 6 hours. So no examination can happen within 6 hours time. So criteria for determining the brain death, that is irreversible cause of coma, absence of brain stem functions, and apnea, and 2 examinations with interval according to the patient age, and ancillary test. Though ancillary test is not mandatory, but depending upon the certain age factors, ancillary test is mandatory. So ancillary test can be used when uncertainty exists about the reliability of the parts of the neurological examination, or when the apnea test cannot be performed. So in terms to 2 months, at least 2 confirmatory tests is required. So the what ancillary test, 4 ancillary tests that Devendra Gupta had listed, that is, if you are performing within 2 months of the age, then 2 confirmatory tests you have to perform, and 2 months to 1 year, 1 confirmatory test, and above 1 year, that confirmatory test is not required. So in some words, ancillary tests are used to shorten the duration of the observation period. The interpretation of each of these tests requires expertise, so that is not everybody is expert to read the TCD and cerebral angiogram. So you need to expert to read this. In adults, ancillary tests are not needed for the clinical diagnosis of brain death and cannot replace the neurological examination. Documentation: that time of brain death is documented in the medical records. Time of death is the time of arterial CO2 reached at the target value. What have target value, that is 20 millimeter above the baseline, or what the target, that is more than 60 millimeter of mercury it has achieved. So that is the time when the carbon dioxide rate, that is the time of the death. In patient with an aborted apnea test, the time of death is when the ancillary test has been officially interpreted. So when you have given, suppose that some test has been given and given to the radiologist to interpret, that is the time of death when radiologist has given the opinion that this is the brain death. So in India, we have opt-in system. That is, if you have to test the brain death, you have to take the permission from the guardians. So you have to take the permission also for doing the test. Refusal of donation by the next of the kin after brain death diagnosis is often the biggest hindrance for organ retrieval, and brain death is accepted only in the context of the organ donation. So if someone is not willing to donate, brain death test cannot be performed. If family of a brain death declared person agrees to donation, the step outlined in Organ Transplantation Act for declaration of brain death are followed. Organs are retrieved, after which the ventilator is turned off. But if they say no to donation, there is no standard of care listed in the Act. So that is, once you are retrieving the organ, once you have retrieved, you switch off the ventilator, you intubate the patient. But after performing, even they are given the consent that the brain death information test could be performed, and later they decline to cannot switch off the ventilator. The patient you have to treat as like a live individual. So there is a lack of clarity when relatives have not consented for organ donation. There is of the public mistrust also on the healthcare system. Some relatives fear that the patient has been declared brain dead for the purpose of organ donation, and clinicians are reluctant because there is so much litigation about these things, they don't go ahead for the brain stem testing. And so in simple conclusion, brain death in Act will support physician to declare brain death and will be legally empowered to withdraw support if there is no consent for organ donation. So what is lacking in our that is Act in 1969, that brain death certification has not been included. If it is included in the birth and death registration, then it can be done. What I need to establish that 2 regulatory bodies have been the appropriate authority for licensing hospital to conduct the transplant operation, and authorization committee to prevent commercial transaction between the donors and recipients. So this is the form what Dr. Devendra Gupta was showing, and here is one issue that is I want to highlight that informed consent from parents for organ donation their child less than 16 years. India says that we are mature at the age of 15 years. So if a baby dies less than 18 years, above the 15 years, from whom we have to seek the permission? That is lacking in the definition. So that need to be addressed. Role of appropriate authority, that is they are the licensing authority to provide the authority to the hospitals for the organ, to perform the transplant and other things. I want to come to the authorization committee that is constituted to forward, approve or reject the transplant between the recipient and unrelated donors. The primary duty of the authorization committee is to able to establish that the unrelated donors are not under any undue pressure, influence of the monetary consideration, are to donate their organs. So that is not the monetary gain, because the authorization committee has to establish. Authorization committee meets regularly and they have to find out unrelated donors and recipients if they are true affection. So why they are donating? I don't see that the person who has not seen any person, he has a true affection for that. So there is different interpretation, that is by the authorization committee, by the donor, and by the physicians. So what clause says, if any donor authorized the removal of any of his human organs before his death, not being a near relative as is specified by the donor, the reason of affection or attachment towards the recipient or for any other special reason, such human organs shall not be removed and transplanted without the prior approval of the authorization committee. So if they are not close relative, the organ cannot be retrieved until unless authorization committee is approving. But what said this Karnataka High Court? There was a writ petition in Karnataka High Court, that is, authorization committee has rejected the appeal of a recipient that they have the donor. So what they said, there is no provision in the act which prohibits the person who is not near related by definition from the donating his kidney. They have mentioned for the kidney, but it is for the organs. Merely because of the near relative have not been considered as donor by the family for transplantation, and the committee has misdirected itself in its regard while refusing permission to the petitioner, and their purpose is to just establish the true affection of the donor towards the recipient. So that petition was approved and the rejection of the authorization committee was disapproved. So the clinician feels that, how the clinician perceives this about this act, the clinician feels that when the law itself provides a clause to help people whose own family members refuse to donate or those who do not have a fit or matching donor, why should they refuse any arrangement between the donor and recipient? And the plight of the recipient overrules all objections, and it is difficult to understand so-called true affection. And the onus of the responsibility to find true affection and relationship rest under the purview of the government, and government has constituted the authorization committee. The authorization committee has to find out that is the donor and recipient has the true affection. And what the donor says, that instant affection to a stranger who is willing to donate his or her organ for money, but they usually deny that such dealing has happened. And authorization committee now suggests that all interviews should be videographed, so it can be produced when there is a required law is requiring it. And authorization committee interpretation, what they say, that recipient and donor, if they pledge affection, why should authorization committee object unless there is complaint or some gross oversight? So that is, everybody is analyzing this authorization committee and act according to their wish. Physician is analyzing differently. The donor, those who are getting money for certain reasons, they are analyzing differently, and the recipient, that is the authorization committee, is analyzing differently. So what the Mohan Foundation recommend for such problems? They say that the required request law that would make it compulsory for the hospital staff to ask for organs in event of brain death. So that is, every time there is a brain death, that should be law that the hospital staff should ask for the organ donation. And the mandated choice of organ donation clause in the Indian driving license. So once they are given the driving license, there should be option that the person is after brain death donating the organs or not donating organs. So that once they are rushed to the hospital, that is clear that the authorization committee and physician and other parties over. And undertaking post-mortem examination during the same time as organ retrieval surgery in the medical legal cases. Because once you have put up the ventilator and it because of the trauma, then again this patient is put the surgery for the post-mortem. So what they suggest, that if we do the same time in the operation theatre only, then it is better for improving the donation. And delinking the hospital where organs can be retrieved from the hospital where they can be actually transplanted. Because many hospitals, they used to have the declared brain death, but they can't retrieve the organs. So they patients should be transported from one hospital to another hospital, rather than what they say that this should be de-linked and the team should go to that site even the hospital is not recognized for the organ donation and retrieval. So the whole team to go there to retrieve the organ, so it should be de-linked. And making it compulsory to appoint transplant coordinator in the intensive care, so if in case of any brain death that come into the play and they are more skilled to communicate so they can manage better. Thank you for your patience.